said you're in the office and we're about to solve equations with more than one variable. This is going to be so much fun. Let me start my Zoom meeting. Let me record it. Okay, we are recording. So I hope you have a great day. This is Thursday's lesson this year. So we're going to write and solve multi-step equations, combining like terms and distributing. This is page 9 and 10 in your notes. Okay, now then, these are the steps that are in the notes. I'm going to give you some with a little bit more power. So 1, combine or add, and, let me change colors here. Still too big. Let's do this one. Add and or subtract like terms if necessary. So you're going to add and subtract the like terms if necessary. Collect variables on one side of the equal sign. Collect constants on the other side of the equal sign, and then solve the equation. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of give you some different steps here. Step 1 is you want to get rid of parentheses. And fractions. So right off the bat, we want to get rid of the parentheses and the fractions. Step 2 is you're going to combine the variables. In this worksheet here, we'll have to combine the variables, which are the letters, right? Step 3 is to combine the constants. And step 4 is to divide the coefficient. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the parentheses, fractions. We're going to get all the variables together, get all the constants together, and then to divide the coefficient. So let's begin. Yeah, this is going to be a blast. So much fun. Okay, problem number 1. Draw a bar through the equal sign. What happened to my numbers? Let's use black. Okay, draw a bar through the equal sign. Notice that we have 2 D's on this side, and then our numbers are here, aren't they? So we have 2 variables and we have 2 constants. We need to combine the variables first, but we don't have to move them, do we? So we're just going to do 4D minus 2D because they're both on the right-hand side. 4D minus 2D is 2D. The negative 15 drops, and the minus 3 drops. Or it should be D, not B, I'm sorry. So what we did first is we combined the variables that were on the right-hand side. Now the variable is on the right, so our numbers are going to have to go to the left. So the minus 3 will be moved over to the left by adding 3. The 3's on the right will divide or subtract out to 0, and we'll get 2D, crickets, 2D equals negative 12. Negative 15 plus 3, you got more 15s than 3. The sign is negative. They're not the same, so you take 3 away from 15. So that's where the negative 12 comes from. Then divide by 2, and a negative divided by a positive is a negative. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and that's going to equal to D because the 2's divide out to 1. So my answer is negative 6 equals D. So if you look at this problem, we group the letters up, we move the number to the other side, and then we divide it. Okay, number 2. Draw a bar through the equal sign. Same thing, single underline the letters, double underline the constants. Both letters are on the same side, aren't they? So we got to group the variables up. 8 plus 6 is 14 in it. And then the minus 12 drops and the 72 drops. Now then the letters on the left, so the numbers have to go to the right. So I'm going to move the 12 over and group it to the 72. The opposite of minus 12 is plus 12. And then I'm going to get 14m equals 84. Then we're going to divide by the coefficient, which is 14. Okay, so m equals 84 divided by 14. You have a calculator. Mr. Toops has one. 84 divided by 14 is 6. Oh, isn't this fun? Oh. Like eating Oreo cookies. Good stuff. I like Oreos. Okay, question number 3. On this problem, we have the distributive property. Our bluebell truck is the minus sign. So we're going to get rid of the parentheses. That was step 1, wasn't it? You get rid of the parentheses with the distributive property. So the 2x drops, and then I'm going to have a negative times a positive is a negative. My number is 4, my letter is x. Sign, number, letter. And then a negative times a positive is a negative, and I get 3 equals 6. Now then, this looks like the other problems we just done, didn't it? All of the parentheses are gone, so let's combine our like terms. The 2x and the 4x are both on the left, aren't they? So what do you have more of, 2's or 4's? You have more 4's, don't you? Since the 4 is negative, the negative drops. I will not add the 2 and 4, I'll subtract because the signs are different. So 2 away from 4 is 2, and my letter's x. What did I just write down? Sign, number, letter. All you're doing is 6th grade integer math. The minus 3 drops, and the 6 drops. Now then, the letter is on the left-hand side, so the numbers have got to go to the right-hand side. So the opposite of minus 3 is to add 3 in it. So negative 2x equals 6 plus 3 is 9. And remember, some of these won't work out. You'll get fractions. So if I divide by negative 2, I'll get x equals, and 9 over 2 will not simplify. You will not write that as negative 4.5, and you will not write it as negative 4 5/10. You will leave it as negative 9 over 2. Let's go to question number 4. So much fun! Okay, question number 4. Mr. Toops loves solving equations. We're going to distribute the negative 2. The negative 2 is our bluebell truck, right? So we're going to take the negative 2 and drive it to the stores. The x drops. A negative times a positive is a negative. The number's 2, the letter's x. Sign, number, letter. That's all you're doing. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 2 times 10 is 20 equals 12. Now then, draw a bar through the equal sign, and we're going to collect like terms. Single underline and double underline. Notice all the variables are on the left, aren't they? So we're going to group the variables together. What do you have more of, 1's or 2's? You got more 2's. So the sign's going to be negative, and you're going to subtract because the 1's positive and the 2's negative. So 1 away from 2 is 1, and the letter's x, and technically you don't put that 1, do you? And then you drop the plus 20, and you drop the 12. Now then, the letter's on the left-hand side, so the numbers have got to go to the right, so I'm going to move the 20 over. And I'm going to get negative x equals, what do you have more of, 12's or 20's? You got more 20, so the sign's negative, and 12 and 20 do not have the same sign, so 12 away from 20 is 8. Now then, we're going to divide negative 1, and we're going to get, let me take care of this, an x equals, a negative divided by negative is a positive 8. So 2 negatives make a positive, don't they? So the answer on that one would be x equal 8. Ho, 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 ho. Fun, 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 fun. Let's go to question 5. Oh, this one we have a fraction, but 4 and 2 divide by 2, so this is going to work out. Our bluebell truck is a half, so we're going to take the 1/2 and we're going to distribute it. So the 7 drops equals half of 4. 4 times 1 divided by 2 is 2. My letter is x. A positive times a negative is a negative. 2 times 1 is 2. Divided by 2 is 1. Half of 2 is 1, isn't it? So notice I got sign, number, letter when I did that parentheses. And then we're going to put minus x. Draw a bar through the equal sign. Now then we're going to combine like terms. The 7, the 2x. So I single underline my variables. I double underline my constants. I got to combine the variables, don't I? All the letters are on the same side, so I'm just going to group. I have more 2's than 1's. So 2 minus 1 is 1, so the 7 will drop. I'm going to have 1x or x and then minus 1. So I have 7 equals x minus 1. Notice on this problem there's no coefficient, so we don't have to divide. The letter's on the right, so the numbers move to the left, don't they? The opposite of minus 1 is plus 1, so my answer is going to be 8 equals x. Ho, 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 ho. That's solving with more power. Ho, ho, ho. And number 6. What a blast. It's a shame this page is almost over. The fun's almost done. Don't know what we're going to do. On this one, what's the Bluebell truck? That's right. The Bluebell truck is 5. So we're going to take the 5 and we're going to drive it to the stores, the 3 and the 10. The negative 15 drops. It does not get the Bluebell truck. 5 times 3 is 15. My letter is Q, sign, number, letter. A positive times a negative is a negative. 5 times 10 is 50, minus 5Q. Now then, draw your bar through the equal sign. Double underline and single underline. So I'm double underlining the integers or constants and single underlining my variables. Notice that both of the variables are on the right hand side. So 15 minus 5 is 10. Let me drop the negative 15. I have 10Q minus 50. So the negative 15 and the negative 50 drop, and we're going to group the 15 and the minus 5. Now then, the Q is on the right, so the letters have got to go to the left, don't they? So the opposite of minus 50 is plus 50. The 50s cross out to 0. Negative 15 plus 50. You got more 50s, don't you? So the sign's positive. We don't have to write it, but we're taking 15 away from 50, which is 35, equals 10Q. Then we're going to divide both sides by 10, and we're going to get Q equals, this would have a GCF of 5. You would get 7. Focus, focus, focus. Q equals 7 over 2. You will not write that as 3.5, and you will not write it as 3 5/10. You leave it as a improper fraction. Turn the page! Ho, ho, ho! Okay, question 7. Okay, all we have to do on question 7 is write an expression for the perimeter. So we have a square. Draw a square. Then it says 5 less than a number. The length of a side of a square is 5 less than a number. Now then, remember less than. If I have 2 less than 6, that is not 2 minus 6, is it? It's 6 minus 2. So if you have less than, it's important that you switch them. Okay, so right here, I'm going to switch this, aren't I? So this will turn into n minus 5. And each edge will be n minus 5. Now then, write an expression for the perimeter. The perimeter is we're going to add all those edges up. This is what I would do. I would just stack them up. So n plus n plus n plus n, you got 4 n's, don't you? So 4n minus, and if you have 4 negative 5s, that's going to be a minus 20. That would be the perimeter. Okay? Pretty simple stuff. This is going to be a little bit harder. On this one, we want the expression for the perimeter, the width of the side of a rectangle. Okay? And remember, this is usually your width, and this is usually your length. So the width is up and down, the length's across. And then the width of the side of a rectangle is 3 more than a number. Write the expression for the perimeter. It does not tell you what the length is. Let's change this to 3 more than the length. Okay, because we can't do it because it doesn't compare the length and the width. So scratch out number and change the number to length. Okay, so the width is equal to 3 more than the length. So our lengths will be L and our width will be L plus 3. Okay, so the width is 3 more than the length, so that gives us this picture, doesn't it? So we're going to stack them all up, L plus 3, and then we have an L, L plus 3, and an L, and we're just going to add them. So we have 4 lengths, plus 3 plus 3 is 6, that would be the perimeter. Okay, 2 more questions and we're done. That's so sad. Okay. Find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 114. This is kind of tricky. Let's just write down any 3 integers, or 3 consecutive integers. Find 3 consecutive integers. 3 consecutive integers could be 7, 8, and 9, right? That won't add up to 114, but that could be 3 consecutive integers. Now then, if you have a problem like this, the first integer will be x, the second will be x plus 1, and the third will be x plus 2. So the first integer is x, the second integer is x plus 1 because we're doing consecutive, and the third is going to be 7 plus 2 gives us the 9, doesn't it? Now then on this one we want the sum to be 114, don't we? So we're going to take these three terms, x plus 1 plus x plus 2, and have it equal to 114. Ho, 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 ho. Now then, draw a bar through the equal sign, and we're just going to solve this. We're going to single underline the x's and double underline the constants. Notice that we have three x's, don't we? 1x plus 1x plus 1x would be 3x. 1 plus 2 is 3, and it's equal to 114. I'm going to move the 3 over. This is not easy to do, so don't panic. This equation's easy to do. To get it's kind of tough. So we're going to subtract 3. I'll get 3x equals 111, divide by 3, and I'm going to end up with x equals 2, and this works out to 37. So if x is 37, x plus 1 is 38, and x plus 2 equals 39. So my three integers would be 37, 38, and 39. Wow. That makes you feel smart, doesn't it? Oh. That's solving math with more power. Okay, question 10. Find two consecutive odd numbers whose sum is 56. So we want odd numbers, don't we? Let's just write down any two odd numbers. I'm going to write down 5 and 7. If my 5 is x, what do I do to the 7 to get it? I'm going to add 2, aren't I? So if you have even or odd integers, you'll do plus 2, plus 4, plus 6. Now then, I want these two integers, x and x plus 2, to have a sum of 56, don't I? Now then, let's just solve this for x. Single underline, double underline. X plus x is 2x plus 2 equals 56. And then move the 2 over. I'm going to get 2x equals 54. Then I'm going to divide by 2, and x will be 27 in it. So if x is 27, x plus 2 is equal to 29 in it. So my two odd numbers would be 27 and 29. And guess what happens if you add them up? Shazam! You get 56. Ho, 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 ho. I hope you have enjoyed doing this tremendously. It's been so much fun. Remember to always believe, and you are awesome.